And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from the Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling. Today we're going to react to GoldJacketLuke. You might have heard of this guy. It's because he's one of the biggest YouTubers that talks about semen retention that I know of. Obviously, there's others, like Angel and Lucid Dreams, etc., etc. Anyway, there's a lot of cool guys doing semen retention videos, but GoldJacketLuke has been on my radar for quite some time. He's got an awesome channel. Go check it out. But this video that he made today or yesterday is the best one that I've seen him do ever. And it completely resonates with me, and I agree with it. So that's kind of why I want to react to it, to kind of or respond to it, to help you guys understand what he's what he's talking about and what my thoughts on the subject is. The title is "Spirituality May Destroy Your Life and is the Ultimate Escape." So it'll be an interesting one. At the very end, stay tuned until then, because I'm going to answer one of my subscribers' questions and something that he disagreed with, and want to respond to that as well. So stay tuned to the end so that you can see that as well. Let's go.
You or maybe a friend of yours will come to your mind. Do you know anyone, and maybe this is you, who knows every single esoteric spiritual secret, and he's read all these esoteric books, but works a minimum wage job, and who due to his knowledge or wisdom should be doing so much more with his life, but doesn't. He fills his brain up with all this knowledge and wisdom and spirituality, and knows all these esoteric secrets of the world, but he can't improve his own life. He can't improve his own life in the material plane. Or another example, maybe you know someone who is really into meditation and meditates 3 hours a day, but they're 28 years old and still live with mommy and daddy. but they're meditating 3 hours a day.
I like that. We'll stop it there just for a brief second. So basically, he's going to go on a rampage criticizing the people who are focused on spirituality or esoteric teachings. I don't even know what esoteric means. Like, what is that? And people who are so focused on the universe and all that stuff, which is great. I mean, law of attraction and all those things, they're necessary. You got to understand them. But, okay, he's going to go on to explain what his thoughts are on it. But I also like what he says here about, a guy who meditates for 3 hours a day and still lives at home, right? And then he put in that there's nothing wrong with living at home, if you save money and whatever. But I agree with that as well. Like, if you stay at home with your parents, you should be working 80-hour work week, 100% for sure. Okay? If you're not working the 80-hour work week and you still live with your parents, there's a huge problem. Like, massive, gigantic, okay? You should move out as soon as possible or secure the 80-hour work week this week, okay? Don't wait another day to fix the problem of not having 3 jobs, okay? That's my opinion on it. And if that's your mindset in terms of living at home to save money, 80-hour work week. Anything else is not acceptable. But if you are not living with, mommy and daddy, still 80-hour work week will solve all your problems. Okay, let's keep going.
Or maybe there's some girl who's like really into crystals, and she has some health condition, and she thinks the crystals will heal her, but in the meantime she doesn't exercise that much or eat very healthy, but she takes good care of her crystals. And I think there's a huge problem in.
And that's no offense to women. There's very often women who do that type of stuff with crystals and stuff like that. And of course, yeah, that and also different essential oils and all those different things, yeah, will definitely help you. But the fact is, it's feminine to always want the quick fix, okay? To find something that will miraculously heal you and, fix all your problems. Although the 80-hour work week will, kind of, yeah. But do you understand what I'm saying here? So it's not women's fault that they're not doing the correct things. It's just that the environment has pushed them towards finding a quick fix solution to their problem. So, yeah, just one thought there on the women aspect.
Young people, and lots of young people are gullible, and they spiritual teachers take advantage of so many people, whether it's law of attraction teachers, whether it's non-duality teachers, forcing people, or Alan Watts just saying everything's going to be okay, embrace the now. I think Alan Watts actually kind of fucked me up some, because he talks about how everything is perfect right now and embrace the present moment and just let go.
Bam! I thought that was amazing. Okay, a dude that actually messed GoldJacketLuke up. Okay, by saying that everything is perfect as it is right now. Just let go. Does that ring a bell of any specific philosophy? It's extremely feminine. Okay, because if you are letting go completely of everything, okay, you're basically trying to be a Buddhist monk or whatever, or following those guys who tell you to do that stuff, it's not gonna work. And if it does work, it's extremely temporary. You know, you'll feel good, really good for 3 days or 3 weeks, but then eventually life slaps you in the face and tells you, wake up, okay? It's time to go to work. It's time to make things happen for you. And, you know, or you get stuck listening to that stuff and believe that that's actually going to solve all your problems, and it's not. Taking massive action will always solve your problems. Massive action, okay? 10x, like Grant Cardone would say.
But the thing is, that's only half the story. Yes, spiritually everything is perfect right now, and non-duality perspectives are true, but also duality is true too. It's non-duality and duality at the same time. It's the best of both worlds. And, you know, I feel like lots of people use spiritual rationalizations to not to live fully in the material world, to spiritual rationalizations to be lazy rather than be disciplined, spiritual rationalizations that making money isn't important, or progressing in the world and getting a good job or taking care of themselves is as important as it should be. And I think that spiritual teachers often take advantage of these people. You know, how many people are so spiritual, knowledgeable, but living with their mommy and daddy? You know, I think tons of people.
It's amazing. Like, he's really talking truth here. Like, this is powerful stuff. I was just like, dang, when I listened to that video this morning, I was just like, bro, Luke, you hit it on the nail. And this is not just, you know, there's a lot of people who do this type of stuff. And, you know, our job, you know, me and Luke, is to help guys as much as possible to stop, you know, gathering so much knowledge. Stop stuffing your brain with non-essentials. Only, like, understand that life is extremely simple. It really is. And it just has, you know, problems, obviously, that you need to tackle. But, and yes, if you listen to other people, then eventually you can find solutions to your problems. But there needs to be both. You know, you got to have the masculinity, you got to have the femininity. Allowing yourself to be led is fantastic and necessary, but you got to be led by the right people. And obviously the guy that led, you know, Luke in the past was not good for this guy at all. It was not good for Luke, you know, and he was teaching him feminine stuff. So when you're being taught feminine stuff, you're going to get screwed over, because femininity basically makes you believe that masculinity is not the solution. Okay, I have a client who you know, who struggles with this picture of the 80-hour work week as an example. Massive work ethic. He's like, you know, I just don't want to work towards getting a lot of money. And as a result, he doesn't have a lot of money. And it's like his femininity is in the way. It's like his feminine beliefs that stops him from actually taking massive action, moving towards masculinity. You know, because when he's doing masculine stuff, it feels uncomfortable. It feels like, no, this is not right. It can't be right. And he wants to go back to his, you know, personal development and feel good, read books and go walks in the woods. You know what I mean? Like, those things are great, but they're great those few hours of the week that you need to focus on yourself to recharge to get back to the 80 hours. 80 hours is the deal. 80% of the time of your awake status, you should be massively taking action in the direction of your dreams. So, yeah, good job, Luke.
And Carl Jung has a great quote. He says, the first half of life should be focused on actually building your ego into becoming an ego and becoming a success. And doing awesome, growing an identity. How many people do you know who are 25 and they're trying to let go of their ego and surrender? It's like, bro, you've had nothing, you haven't built up anything to let go of. You're let going of something empty. No wonder you're depressed. But Jung says the first half of life should actually be to growing your ego and to developing the sense of an identity. And then the second half of life should be letting go of your ego and, tapping more into that spiritual place.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. One thing that he mentioned, no wonder that you're depressed. If you're depressed, there's something wrong. Okay? It's common, but it's not normal to be depressed. Okay? We literally, like all of us as human beings, are designed to be happy. Okay? So if you're not happy, you're doing something wrong, or your beliefs are in a different direction than what's correct. Okay, so it's very easy to know if you're on the right path or not. If you're on the right path, you're happy. Okay? There's no depression. You're happy, but you're also solving problems. Okay? If you're depressed, you're unhappy and you're not solving problems, right? Because you're spending time looking inwardly or, doing deep work. What the heck does that mean? Like, it's so funny when people say deep work. For me, deep work is doing 80 hours, stuff that you hate doing, okay? Like, and it's not just for the punishment's sake of doing stuff that you hate doing. You want to do stuff that actually elevates humanity. You want to do stuff that actually helps people forward, okay? It's a service to other people. Like, I'm not saying 80-hour work week doing, a crappy job that you absolutely hate just for the hell of it. No, I want you to serve other people, and if it's in a job that you don't like, that's okay, because it's just temporary, right? And you need to get past that uncomfortable stage of doing stuff that you don't like to do. I'm gonna have a problem in the future with my sons who are like, oh, yucky, I don't want to touch this and that and the other when I want them to clean something. You know what I mean? At one point in time, they just have to learn how to take care of nasty stuff and do stuff that they're uncomfortable doing because it's the right thing to do at that specific time, if that makes sense as an example.
So my message for you in this video is care about money, care about success, care about honor your ego, respect your ego, grow your ego, but do it from a place rooted in the greater good and do it in a pure and grounded and centered way, but become a boss. I feel like spirituality, this is my main point of this video, spirituality can be an escape.
Bro, Luke, you're so right on track, man. I love this stuff. This is masculine, okay? This is to the core how things should be and how our mentality should be. You need to become a leader. You need to grow up. You need to lead other people, but first you got to lead yourself. You got to figure out how to control your urges. You got to figure out how to make money. You got to figure out how to sell something to someone. Selling is basically just helping someone else actually buy something that they need and want and that you can offer them. Okay? So you basically figuring out if this is actually what they want and if what you have is a good fit for them. That's selling. That's sales. You got to learn this because most people won't buy the first time they see the thing that they actually need. They're like, oh, I wasn't really ready to buy something today, and that's your job at that time to help them to see that maybe they actually do need to buy it today, because if they don't buy it today, maybe they won't get the product later, but they needed it. As an example, I worked at a gym as a sales rep, okay, 12 years ago or whatever it was, 10 years ago, and at that moment in time, I knew that my job was to get them signed up to that gym. And it was crucial that I do so because most probably the times that people walk into a gym, very often, they don't enter into another gym, okay? Very often, if they don't sign up there and then, it'll take them another year or two or never to actually sign up to a gym. So it's my job as a sales rep at that time to make sure that that person signs up at the gym and gets the proper follow-up to make sure that they actually exercise and do what, we agreed the first time that they came to the center to just check the prices. Does that make sense? That's the, that was the first place I learned sales, was selling gym memberships. Kind of interesting. And then we went to like a gym place yesterday, and they had a horrible way of trying to sign us up. And I was just like, oh my gosh, they have no idea about sales. So, but anyway, it's just kind of funny.
Reading all these spiritual books can be an escape. Meditation, believe it or not, can be a mistake. An escape. It can be a mistake too if you should be doing other things, but instead you're meditating.
I love this. I came to a point, I've read a lot of books, and I came to a point where I was just like, I'm not reading anymore. This is it. It's done, okay? Until I'm applying the correct principles and my life has massive, huge momentum in my life, I'll start reading again because I know enough. And the same thing with you. You know enough, okay? We all know enough to take the next step in our lives, okay? And the next step is what's most crucial, because without taking the next step, you'll never get to the next step after that. And then the next step after that, you got to take only the next step. And reading books right now might not be your next step. Simple as that. You have to know just your dreams and goals. You have to get started developing a work ethic. You've got to, you got to avoid porn and masturbation and all that crap. That's it. That's your next step. And as you move forward with that, everything's going to be solved. You'll figure out your purpose. You'll figure out, your business model. You'll figure out people that you want to hang out with, that are business oriented, etc., etc. Everything's going to work out as you completely level up your work ethic in your life. That's number one. And when it comes to meditation, I'm not a fan of meditation. I've had clients in the past that was like, meditation really helps me. And I'm like, really? Like for me, my daily life is meditation, okay? Like maybe it's because I grew up with prayer. And I've also stopped praying, by the way, like rote prayers, okay? Like, kneeling by my bedside and saying a prayer. Although that has its place and you can do that sometimes, in my opinion, it's great. However, okay, if that doesn't result into taking action, those prayers are in vain. Does that make sense? Like, you should be having a prayer in your heart all of the time. Okay? Not just by the bedside in the morning and in the evening. Okay? It's not like you should forget about, that during the entire day. You live for it. You live, okay, meditation. You live prayer by the action that you take on a daily basis. If that makes sense. Trying to just simplify the things that he's saying, but he's this amazing.
Reading all these spiritual books and getting all the spiritual knowledge and subscribing to all these spiritual YouTube channels and practicing your law of attraction vision boards, that could be an escape, bro. Spirituality can be an escape, and because it's spirituality, it's so easy to rationalize. How could it...
It's an escape because you end up spending so much time doing nothing. Okay? Now, can a vision board be important? Yes, absolutely. I had a client who worked on a vision board for quite some time, and he was just making it nice and perfect. And that was a few weeks ago, and nothing's changed, from the biggest problems in his life. And I was just like, maybe the vision board isn't really, did he actually do it the right way? Is he actually applying it? You know what I mean? Like, a vision board should take you maximum a few hours to set up, okay? And then you should review it 5 minutes every day, maybe 10 minutes if you have affirmations, okay? I don't talk about that very often on this channel, but those are great things to do. Absolutely. And that will help you to think the right thoughts that will allow you to, attract the right things into your life. However, if you do it more than 15 to 20 minutes morning and evening, that's enough. 30 to 40 minutes a day, that's it. No more, okay? Now you go out, okay? Like, and the same with books. If you're reading more than half an hour a day, and it's not in between, traveling and doing different things that you're doing throughout the day, you're reading too much. Stop, okay? Like, this knowledge, the more you climb the knowledge ladder, the more the less integral you become. Okay, integrity is masculine. Okay, the more you know and don't do, the less integrity you have. So you got to make sure that you don't fill your life with knowledge, okay, before you begin to apply the most important knowledge. Okay, that's kind of what I'm getting from this video here. It's just like, stop, start. If that makes sense.
Anything spiritual be the wrong thing to do, you know? It's so easy to trick ourselves that reading these esoteric spiritual books is important. But bro, spirituality can still be an escape. So I'm one of the most spiritual guys you'll meet. I love spirituality, and part of this video is me talking to my previous self, who didn't take making money as seriously and didn't take success as seriously and didn't take some practical things as seriously as I do now.
And that's just basically femininity. That's it. There's nothing else. It's so beautiful when you look at it. It's like, you know, before, you know, we're kind of inexperienced and young, and wow, all this fantastic knowledge that is, you know, that is available, and I get to have that knowledge, but then nothing gets applied. You know, what's the next step that will actually cause you to grow? Okay, to develop your character, to develop your integrity, to develop your work ethic, to develop your discipline, your focus. That's the things that need to be focused on. The feminine aspect is just kind of like a foundation. Okay, it's great to have that, but it's like it's the 5%. And then the 80% is the work that makes those 5% work. If that makes sense. A lot of people switch it around. They're like focused on the 5% a lot of the time, and then they're too tired the rest of the day to do anything. You know, it's not a wise strategy.
And, you know, it's just a message that we need to take that stuff seriously. It's, so are you escaping through spirituality somehow? Are you, you know, and that's my message in this video, and be aware of that and challenge yourself. And I love spirituality, and I still read spiritual books, and I meditate, I do all that stuff too, but you know, it's integrated, it's balanced. I also really value the material world as well. It's the best of both worlds. Everything is perfect right now, but also be the best person that you could be too in the material world, both at the same time.
Boom. It's kind of like femininity and masculinity. Femininity, basically understand the now, and that it's crucial that you enjoy the now, right? That's the aspect of, and you have to choose that. It's masculine to choose to enjoy the now, in the moment, right now, and the now is the only thing you've got. Yes, absolutely. However, your job is to improve the future nows. Because if you only enjoy the now and don't take care of the future nows are gonna suck. And you're gonna be left behind by all the other people who actually did take the future now seriously. If that makes sense, right? Because your life is just a bunch of nows. It's approximately 3 billion nows. If you calculate how many seconds you have to live, it's about 3 billion. Okay? So make sure you use them wisely, and you do if you watch these videos. But also, it's not enough to watch the videos. If you've been watching my videos and still, after months, you're not doing the 80-hour work week, you're not really watching my videos. Simple as that. And
I hope that makes sense. Both at the same time. Like this video, comment your thoughts.
So thank you so much. You're awesome, GoldJacketLuke. You're absolutely awesome. Let's see. Hierarchy of needs. He wanted everyone to know he added the transcender. Reading disconnects the brain. Interesting. Before enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood and carry water. Okay, that's the best sentence you came with, John. Thanks. It's really good. Thank you, Isaac, for saying it's a great streaming. I wanted to show you guys a comment that I got and respond to it. Let's see if I can find it here. Comments. There you go. And it's an important one, so I hope you stick around. Let's see. Okay, so I was talking about why you should not start a business yet. Okay, and someone said, I don't think the same. Patricio, the earlier you start, the earlier you fail. This is him talking. And everybody knows where the systematic fails leads. Yes, of course, it will lead to eventual success. Absolutely. If it is absolutely necessary, or if it's necessary, you should never work for someone else. It is absolutely unnecessary to work for someone else ever in your life. Okay. And then I said, are you running a successful business? If you're not willing to work for someone else, how will you ever get anyone else to want to work for you? Okay. That's my response to him. And then he responds to me, I'm on the way, and the worst thing I did on my past was working for others and with others. Successful business, we'll see very soon, but now I'm getting my micro success really fast. Finally, over the years, I did understand after a few painful fails. Over the years. Remember that. Losing my own money, wasting my time, that working for others and with others is just delaying real work with real clients, real products, and real results. But this is something you need to have happen. You need to face your own failures. The legal process of my own brand will finish in the next few months. Now I'm determined. This is my year, with or without, the cerveza sickness. If I fail, it's my money, my time, and nobody else responsible anymore. I think the younger you fail and get the real over, the faster you learn for yourself how to bypass obstacles. Love your channel, but I disagree this time. So I said I'd make a video just for this one. And I in many ways, I agree with him. Of course, if we had a conversation and we were talking to each other and I was explaining what I meant with my video. Basically, a lot of people who start businesses, they're not ready to start businesses. When I started a business a long time ago, I was not ready to start a business. But in the same way, just like, when you become a father, you're not ready to become a father. So you just got to start the process. Really? Should you just start the process of becoming a father? Should you really just start the process of business immediately, right now? If you already have a business and it's working, fantastic. Go for it, okay? Make things happen, 80-hour work week if you're already doing that. But the majority of people who start a business underestimate how slowly and how painful that process is going to be in terms of creating cash flow in that business. Most people who start that journey don't count the cost, okay? Like, Jesus said in the Old Testament, the New Testament, he was basically explaining who starts to build a tower without counting the cost beforehand, okay? It's not a religious channel, it's just one quote that I remember. You gotta know the cost of the tower before you actually start building it, because you might quit midway. What was the point of starting a business then if you quit? And that's what I'm truly trying to establish here, is to help you guys to never, ever, ever quit. And when you start a business, it is so easy to quit that I want you guys to learn how to not quit on something that is absolutely ridiculous, which is to work for someone else for a long period of time. That's kind of what I was trying to explain with my last video, is that if you don't have the work ethic, if you don't have the fantastic personal, positive attitude, and if you don't like working with people, just a few months should be dedicated to just proving to yourself that you can have that amazing attitude and you can be in hell and be happy at the same time. And not only that, but that you're able to, it's not going to be a long time, okay? The way that I understand his comment was he thought that I was telling people that they should do that for years. No, that's horrible, okay? I want you to do, work 80 hours a week for someone else just for, let's say 90 days. Or let's say until you've kicked the SR problem out of your life, okay? You're just trying to apply SR, semen retention, and you're struggling and struggling and struggling. Trust me, starting a business is going to make that worse. You're going to quit on the business and you're going to continue being addicted to the porn. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get you out of your environment, out of your house, out of your comfortable situation, which is very often what a business, in the beginning, if someone is inexperienced with business, it's very comfortable building a business. You're not really building it the vast majority of time. I've seen my share of entrepreneurs and business owners, and most suck. And the reason why they suck is because they never actually went through the hell of doing what I'm telling you guys to do. That's at least my experience over years and years and years of seeing people fail and start and fail and start and fail and then quit forever on having a business. That's a huge risk to take. Oh, business wasn't the right thing for me. I'm more comfortable, working for someone else. Horrible. And they end up working 40 hours a week for the rest of their lives. Very bad strategy. So just thought I'd comment on that comment live and explain properly what I think. But basically, if you, as a man, you're ready, you have a business idea and you're good to go, and you easily work 80 hours a week and you easily get new clients like that, no problem, go for it. Build your own business immediately. Maybe you don't need the 3 months or 6 months or 12 months or 18 months that I would have probably recommended, So, and something I might just add there is that the situation is different for everyone, okay? For you, Patricio, if you're watching this, you probably don't need it, okay? Maybe you don't need to work for someone else for 3 to 6 to 12 to 18 months. Maybe you don't. I don't know your situation. I just read your comment. However, I know that 99% of the people that do watch my video need that experience that I'm suggesting. So, just a food for thought that everyone's situation is different, but I always generalize on my channel because the anomalies, they're not that important to me. I want to speak to the mainstream, the main public, what your next step, in my opinion, should be. And if you're still wondering, hire me as a coach. It's ridiculous for you to not have a coach, okay? It's amazing to have a coach because you're taking the next step in the right direction. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.